Here we go. Neon Dynasty, best out of one draft. Lots of things you can do best out of one because you're just trying to blaze them dead. There's situational cards you would draft in other. I'll talk about that. So right off the deck, two good red removal spells. I don't really like the Soul Ripper. I don't think it works as well. I do like the Silencer, the Dokuchi Silencer. Also love the Roadside Reliquary. I almost picked that just to stay open, but Flame Discharge, it's a great flexible removal spell. Removal is key. Silencer, Soul Ripper. I don't like the Soul Ripper so much. A lot of times you're grinding for card advantage. So even in aggressive decks, it's crew 2 for attack of 4. It's only giving you 2 power. So I grabbed the red removal. Normally, best out of 2 or best out of 3 drafts, you could draft situational cards like it only kills flyers, or it only kills enchantments, or it only kills artifacts, etc., hoping to sideboard them in when applicable. Best of 1, you don't have to care about that. You just go balls to the wall. So a lot of good things. There's the 3/4. There's the Gloom Shrieker, but I see 2 red removal spells in a row, and I can shut off red. So anyone to my left will say that there's no red in this pack, hopefully, and thus will stay away from red, giving me, leaving it wide open for pack 3. So that's sort of why I do it. It's 2 removal spells right back to back. They both care about modified, so I'm probably doing some sort of modified deck. I like that they're both cheap. Communist Flavor deals damage, which is good for reach in games of aggression. Flame Discharge is a late game card. Usually what you want is early game removal and then big bombs that can't be answered, or early game creatures that are dealing a lot of damage and then big removal that can tear anything that'll get in the way of your smaller things later. So it continues that I'm lucky enough to see red removal. I do love the Iron Hoof Boar, but I have an uncommon removal spell that is very flexible. You can potentially play it for 1 as a creature shock if you have a modified creature. Yeah, I'm grabbing the Flame Discharge. Note the Coiling Stalker on the bottom left. This card, it has the ability to give +1/+1 counters, so I'm hoping to wheel something like this because it goes with my modular. Also, the Tales of Master Sashiro also gives +1/+1 counters. These are things that would synergize. I'm just looking at other cards in this pack. Nothing too powerful. Ironically, blue, blah, white, okay. The Born to Drive is decent. So here, I can do the Fall of Lord Kondo, which is a removal spell, but it's not aggressive. Like they have to have you can't really play it on turn 3 because they're not going to have a 4-drop or higher. It's like it's a 5/6 drop. Circuit Mender I almost grabbed, but then I like Iron Hoof Boar because the flexibility. It is a combat trick when you need it to be a combat trick, or it is a big game-ending creature if they have like 1 or 2 life from your early, and you just need that little bit more overhead. I love Iron Hoof Boar and its flexibility in the aggressive deck. I absolutely love it. It's basically a lightning bolt to their face. So here, I have the modular thing, which I think about because, I am a modular deck. Befriending the Moss, I just didn't really know. I wasn't familiar with that. Yeah, I can get the +1/+1 counters, but I don't know if I'm going into green yet, and I do really like the Unstoppable Ogre in an aggressive. I also think maybe I'm a blue-red removal ninja deck where I can get the threats out of the way, and then in the ninja, which would be good. It would be a good thing, but I don't know what kind of bombs I'm gonna get. I stay open with just red. Unstoppable Ogre, very good. Here, once again, I can get another boar. I can get the 3/3 land thing, but I think I grab the Smelter. The Smelter is a good 2-drop. It's a 2/2 for 2. It can turn any artifact into 3/1 haste construct. So if you get treasures somehow, those become 3/1s. If you have little 1/1s, like 1/1 the Iron Attendant, you can turn it into a 3/1 and keep that +1/+1 counter. If you have an artifact and they have an enchantment that shuts it down, like the 2/1 white arrest effect or the blue one, basically. It is very flexible. It allows your 1/1 artifacts to become 3/1 artifacts. It becomes your shutdown artifacts to become back and play artifacts. And it is a decent 2-drop on its own. So very, very flexible in this deck here. I don't know what I want. So there's the Stalker, which is modular. The Coiling Stalker gives me +1/+1. The Reactor, but I'm not playing that many artifacts right now. So I think I might grab. I don't know. I never know about the Dragon Spark Reactor. In theory, it should deal a lot of damage, but I think I go with the Stalker just in case. Because it's a 2-drop, it's aggressive. I need aggressive things right now with this deck. If I can remove your threats, I can keep getting +1/+1 counters, and the value will spiral. And it'll be to the effect that by the time you try to secure the board, you'll be so low that my Communist Flayers and etc. can just, or Ironhoof Boars can just kill you. So I think the Coaling Stalker is exactly where I want to be. It's cheap. It's versatile with a ninjutsu effect. It works well with removal. It's the not modular but modified for my removal spells. I think this is sort of like the deck coming together the way it is supposed to come together. And these Coaling Stalkers came way late. I'm not big on them normally because you can't stack the +1/+1 counters forever. So here, I don't know what I want. I think it's just the Iron Apprentice. Well, like I said, it's an artifact that I can get to Smelter. It is modified in and of itself. I'm going to do, before I get bored of this set, an Iron Apprentice draft where I try to get as many as possible. Right now, the most I've been able to see in one draft is 5. I'm sure they can. So here, I absolutely love Roadside Reliquary, that land. I absolutely love it. But I think if I'm going to do modified, Aki Emberkeeper is a good 2-drop. It gets value. I really like lands that do things, and I'm twisted on that pick. But if I'm truly going balls to the wall aggression, I really shouldn't have time to use the land. So here, nothing really for me. That's an aggressive card, but it doesn't attack till turn 4, so I don't necessarily want it. The Beetle I like because the Beetle can come down, deal damage, or get a card, and then turn into a 3/1 with my Smelter. And then so I don't know if I'm playing green or black yet. I grab that just in case. Here, it's in between the Boar and the Stalker. I can't remember which one I pick. I think the Stalker because I need more 2-drops right now. Yeah. I do. You do need 2-drops in this draft format. It is very fast. You either need to be playing things to stop your opponent, or you need to be playing things because there's ninjas that come down on turn 2 and can start to shut you out of the game. There's very aggressive decks with the black-red deck that has for turn 1 haste that just spiral. So here, I do like the idea of Death Touch with the Ironhoof Boar because most of the damage will go through and you can really surprise them in attack. I grab the Aki. What I don't like about the Aki Ronin is it's not really an aggressive card. What I get a second to last pick, Boar. Picking the Boar over the other thing is an instant effect and it's a big creature. So here, I have a land that does something. Of course, I'm going to grab the land that does something. I like the Cappy Tech Wrecker, but once again, so 1/3, not the most aggressive card. The land doesn't take a real spot in my deck, and it can deal damage, and the little 1/1s have haste. So I was saying about the Aki Ronin. It's a 1/3, and it wants you to attack with one creature at a time. So it's not an aggressive card. It just isn't. It can fit in aggressive decks, but it's not ideal. So here, it's in between the Ronin and the Cuff. I think the Cuff is too slow for the deck that I'm trying to build. Because it's a 1/4. Once again, it doesn't have a lot of power. It is not the ideal card. This Ronin, I can make it a 2/2. I can sacrifice it later to the Smelter to make a permanent 3/1. I can discard it. It might be good just to shock them on turn 1 and hopefully get a little bit more damage. I just take it because I'm trying to go as aggressive as possible. Here, it's interesting that I get another of the 3/4 that's 3 colors. I would never play that in best of 1. If you're playing a 3-color, it's not only is it red, white, black, which is 3 colors, but it's the worst 3 colors for multicolor. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the thing that's on the top left, the thing that causes all your attacking triggers to trigger twice. You want, if you're going 4 or 5 colors, to go green first, maybe blue for draw, and then maybe white or red or black if you can get. But yeah, it's the worst 3 colors, the top left card. So I would never do that in best of 1 because your deck is going to be so inconsistent. And then a true 5-color deck isn't really going to have attack triggers. So not the best card. I don't think that was built with draft environment. I grabbed the Scrapyard Steelbreaker just in case. If I can find a way to. I haven't really found many artifacts, but if I do, is an outlet. It is an artifact itself. Blah 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 blah. So once again, solid removal. The trainee is good if I'm going aggressive, but yeah, I just want as much removal as possible. I will own the early game, and then it'll be up to the opponent to turn the corner and stabilize. Here, nothing really for me. I can get that. Yeah, it's not two artifacts. That's the problem. If it was a 1/1 artifact on the ground, it'd be better for the smelter. It's an artifact in the air and a spirit on the ground. I take the Imperial Recovery unit because I'm only 3 green cards right now. I could very easily pivot away from green if I felt like it. So I grab the card that in an aggressive deck, you're going to lose early things, and then with this, you can then get them back. The Imperial Recovery unit is a good aggressive card. I do like the Skyblessed Samurai. I don't have enough enchantments right now, so I'm looking at this. Nothing. I don't want to play a 7-drop that might be a 5 or 6-drop. Ambitious Assault, I'm not going to have that many creatures, so I just grabbed the boar. Once again, the boar is very flexible. That +1 toughness is very applicable a lot of times in combat. If they don't see it coming, it can absolutely wreck them. So I could keep grabbing Ironhoof boars, but I do like the 3/2 boar in the fact that if I have a bunch of 1/1s from, say, my land, and they have a 3/3, I can slowly trade my 1/1s for 3/3s with my extra mana if the game goes into overtime. Overtime meaning like longer than the first like 5-6 turns. And then keep getting value by read. So here, there's Light the Way, there's Lucky Offering, which is good if I play white. Ambitious Assault, like, I'm not going to have enough creatures, I don't think. I'm going to be trading early, and it costs 3, so I just take a ninja just in case I go ninja, and I'm showing, like, okay, how many cards do I have if I just go straight red? Straight red, I'm 15 cards inside the second pack. I might be able to go just red right now. Is it ideal for me to? Probably not. I probably want those green ninjas because I don't have many ways to be modified, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows what the 3rd pack rare will be? It could be, the Wanderer, and then I have a reason incentivized to go white. So we're waiting. What I like right now, I have a bunch of 2-drops. I have removal. I have situational cards. The Ironhoof Boar is a late game ender, or it's an early game combat trick. That flexibility is key. Because a lot of happens if you're playing an aggressive deck and you want a 5/6 drop in your hand, a lot of times it just sits there in your hand like bogging it down, and you die with 4 lands because you've run out of things to do, and you played less than you normally would with lands, so getting to 6 is really hard. Here, nothing really for me. I don't have enough artifacts to make the Dragon Spark reactor work. I think I just grabbed the 2/2 just because it's a 2-drop. Here, I think I grabbed the land just in case. Yeah. Just in case I need to go blue. It gives me a little bit of hedge. I grabbed the safekeeping. If I'm Voltroning up with +1/+1 counters, it is good to be able to protect that thing, and it is 1 green, which is, very cheap. So I'm leaning towards green. And yeah, this is a good deck. Spoiler alert, this deck has the ability. You have to see what I finally decided. There's Shrine. No, I just take the Trainee. The Trainee is pretty good in an aggressive deck, and then it is hard to block early. Just take the Lucky Offering. I don't need a defender thing. It is a strong 3-drop if you need something to defend against the aggressive deck, but like, meh. I want to attack. Here, there's the very good white removal spell. By looking at it, and I'm like, this is too situational for best of 1. I would take Explosive Entry way later, but I would take it in a best of 3 draft, not in a best of 1 draft. I'm never gonna play it. Never gonna put it in my main deck. I don't think. So I grabbed the 1 mana enchantment. It's very good. Here, I think I grabbed the boar or the land. No, the boar is better. I really want that land. I do really want. So if I had more enchantments, the Samurai is good in an aggressive deck to, like, you trade some things off, then you attack once and you get them back. But I'm just going as fast as I can, as many things with trample, as many things that are going to die, trade, deal a little bit of residual damage. die, trade, deal a little bit of residual damage, and then hopefully I can deal enough damage before you can play big things. So I'm looking at, like, do I want... I really do think I'm green because of those Coiling Stalkers. They work very well with my deck. I actually think Coiling Stalkers is decently designed because, yes, you can put +1/+1 counters on things, which normally is bonk. So this is like, I see the side spider. I'm not going to do it. Part of me kind of wants to, but, like, I'm not going to do it. Not going to grab that. Yeah, I could grab the equipment, but I think I go with Tanuki just in case I go green and I played something expensive. I'm also looking at the white things. I could get Kindle Fury. I'm looking at, like, what color. I'm like, yeah. Tanuki is what I want. It has trample. So here, once again, I'm not going to... I like this as a second turn drop, and it's also... It allows me to act as the Goshintai, the green one, gets +1/+1 counters, so it allows you to be modified. So I don't grab the spinning wheel kick. I don't think I'm going to have 2 green very often, and I don't think... It really only happens until, like, turn 4, and by turn 4, I don't want to spend 1 spell on turn 4. I want to be playing 2 spells, so... I'm going green. I'm going as fast as possible. I want it so that I remove the board in the first 2-3 turns. That was my computer background. I want it so that, like, the board is clear the first 2 turns. I own the board, and then by the time you set like things up, I have you low enough where my boars, whether Bronze Plate or Iron Hoof, can trample over you. And Tanuki also has trample. So once again, it's the idea of, like, if we trade 1 card for 1 card, but I'm also dealing you an extra 1 or 2 damage on the top. You know, we do 10 trades like that, I win. Here, I'm just looking at 2 drops. Tanuki's good, but, like, man, I don't want too many expensive drops. I do like this idea, especially with the Stalker, which is what I'm pointing at. That, like, those 2 together means that now we're gonna trade. I might deal some trample damage to you, and I get a 1/1 left over. So it's like our trades don't become even trades then. You're gonna have to trade so that you don't die, and when you do trade, I reap the benefit. So I have to get rid of at least, yeah, I'm getting rid of extra cards. I don't like this. I'm getting rid of the expensive things, the things that don't synergize with the most basic theme of my deck. Yeah, I get rid of the protection because it's reactive. I want to throw everything at your face, and if I have 1 card that's like, oh, I'm waiting to play this card, I'm waiting for your tempo. No. I want the game to be on my tempo, and my tempo to be ASAP. So here, nothing really for me. I grabbed the Ronin, not going to play it. Once again, not really a super offensive card. Offensive. So I don't have too many things to do on turn 1. I have 4 1-drops, so I do like the mana fixing. It can bite you in a speed deck, and that, like, you need to draw a 3rd land, and then you draw your 1 tap land, and you go, oh, why did I play that land? But I do think it is worth it to play here. The 1/1 Death Touch, really great. It trades for high things with trample. You can get that damage through. So if I'm playing, you know, like I'm pointing to it, the boars or the Bronze Plate boar. If you have 3 life left and I'm attacking, you're kind of dead. So I grab the expensive things. I'm thinking about, but no. I like this land. I like the land that lets me do things if possible. And because I have 1 dual land, I can take 1 sort of colorless land in exchange. Nothing for me. I'm not going to play Explosive Entry. It's not a bad card, but, like, I might play the Trainee. Entry is just too... you don't want a dead card in your hand in a draft, and it can be a dead card. And so, like, why wouldn't I play something? Yeah, I get rid of the Tanuki because, yes, it's modular. I can play it on turn 3 as a different way, but I don't really need the extra land. It doesn't do any damage unless you play it on turn 6. So, like... I don't know if I want the game to last till turn 7, which is when it would be attacking. Or turn 8, turn 9 if I miss a land drop, which I probably will. So I'm trying to get just down to the bare bones of what this deck is, what I'm playing here. I forget what I take oh no, I have 3 lands. So right now I have 24. So if I get rid of 1 thing, I will be at 17 lands, 2 of which I kind of count as spells. The Roadside Relinquelli and the Sokenzen, I really want to use for creatures and cards. So I go with getting rid of the Reinforced Ronin, is what I finally decide. And the reason I do that is because my deck is a modified deck, sort of consists of having creatures stick around and have +1/+1 counters on them to be equipped, etc., etc. Ronin does not step around. Ronin cannot stay around. So, you know, if I'm coiling Stalker and I'm trying to +1/+1 counter things, it doesn't benefit from that. So I don't know if it's the right decision, but it is the decision that I make. Because I'm going to be bottlenecked the first few turns, and what I do, and I don't necessarily have the mana. Like, I'd rather have a 1/1 for 1 red that sticks around and deals damage every turn than one that I had to keep. It's like, I play Ronin on 1, okay, I want to play a 2-drop on 2, so I can't play it on 2 then. And then on 3, I want to play a 3-drop. Well, then I can't play it on turn 3, versus that 1/1 would have stuck around, maybe now has a +1/+1 counter on it, and it has 2 power by itself. So, I don't know if I have to speed up. I'll speed up these games a little bit. I don't know if I have to speed them up just because like it's a speed deck. Faster fine. Playback faster fine. Speed faster fine. Okay, let's do this. 1.2. So I like this hand. Boop. No. As you watch me play around. I have a first drop. I have a second drop. I can Coiling Serpent. So I'm happy with this hand. I think I'm gonna Coiling Serpent. No. Yeah. I don't want the Coiling Serpent yet. Because this is a 3/3. It's gonna be much harder for them to play a 2-drop that trades with it. Come on. So, this 0/4 is a big problem to me right now. I just like, it's like, do I rather kill this thing or do I want to bounce and get my +1/+1 counter? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know what I can kill it. I can bounce my 2/2 and then Flame Discharge. But I think, like, do I want to bounce my 2/2 and have to wait 2 more turns for it to attack again? I can just play the Stalker. I'll miss out on a +1/+1 counter. But like, this is what I do. I just want to kill the 0/4. Still have my removal spell and chill. Okay, so that's what I do. It turns out to be, maybe either way was the right way, but I do like getting that damage in now. I do like getting rid of the 0/4 is going to soak up a lot of damage, and I don't have time. I don't have time to let them sit around and develop. And right now, I can Flame Discharge for 2 mana, and then I can Stalker as well. So I'm at a very quick pace. They do Unforgiving one. I can kill that. I decide that, like, hey, I'd rather do the exact 3/1 now, deal the damage to you, and attack. And I don't want to bounce my 2/2 because it's dealing so much more damage as a 2/2 than it would if I played it back again. So I'm debating, like, do I want to have a 3/2 Stalker right now? And instead I say, it's going to do the same amount of damage. I'll get more damage in next turn if I just play the Stalker, get ready for the discharge. If they play one creature and I kill it, they're at 1 at the end of this turn. So, like, why would I do anything else? Yeah, so they play an instant, like, what are they hoping to get? I don't know. For 2 mana or less, maybe a removal spell, like the -2/-2 thing, but, like, yeah, you did. So the one thing I'm scared of is the black spell that deals -2/-2 to all creatures. So that's why I give the +1/+1 counter to my 2/2. I don't think there's anything in Neon Dynasty that can save them now. Yeah. So they have a cheap-ish removal spell, but it's way too late. And that was a very... What turn kill was that? Wait. What turn? 2 seconds as 26. That was a fast kill. I don't know how fast that was. Was that a turn? One second. What? No. Sorry. Pause. Play. 1 second. Figuring this out. No. Undo. I was at 26 minutes. Sorry. Hey, look at my background. Ooh, my background. I want to see. So 26 minutes. Open with. You'll see. It was like 21 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Video. Speed. Playback speed. Faster. Let's do 1.5 and see what's what here. And count how, because I think I have, spoiler alert, multiple turn 5 kills here. Okay, here we go. Turn 1. Turn 2. Great. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I had another red mana, I could have done so much more. So that, once again, the reliquary is a cost. So here, yeah. We know. This is turn 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is it a turn? Yeah, because next turn they do. Yeah, this is me thinking. Come on, get it, William. Get it in there. You can do it. You can do it, buddy. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Okay, there's that. This is their turn 3. Come on. They are thinking, they are stinking. Turn 3. Turn 3. Okay, great. Turn 3. Okay, this is my turn 4. Oh no, it's a turn 6 kill because they're at 1 life exactly. This is my turn 4. Turn 5, I get them down to 1. They turn 6 kill. No, man. This is turn 4. They got 1 life left. Man. Functionally, a turn 5 kill. In actuality, I missed it by 1. If only I had used this. Maybe if I had used this on the reality chipper and gotten that extra damage in. Okay, yeah, that's turn 5. Yep. Okay, this is turn 6 kill. No. Oh, boy. I get a true turn 5 kill or later. So stick around for that. Great. And now we're 1.5. We probably save time in the long term. So, these are the kind of decks I prefer in best of 1 because you can play real fast. You can usually blitz your opponent out. This is dangerous. I don't have red mana. My deck is all about the first few turns. If I'm waiting around for that mana, I'm probably gonna die. So I keep. William, you're so dumb. I better be on the draw. If I'm on the play and I kept, I don't agree with that. And I was on the play. Oh man. So this is me saying like, oh, I could, and then I don't get punished for it. But once again, remember what I was saying about that tap land? That's exactly what I meant by that. But luckily, I don't get too punished by it. And if you notice, I have an enchantment and an artifact. The Amber piece is an enchantment, so I'll be able to draw 2 cards. So one of my lands then becomes a spell. So here, I'm like, I just want to trade. I think I just want to trade. Yeah. I don't want to wait for them to get a lot of mana, do a lot of things, put +1/+1 counters on this. They have a spell, but luckily I get it out of their hand. So play my own keeper, get rid of their keeper. I don't want them getting extra 1/1 counters. Now, I could have saved it, could have used it on their trainee. The trainee is now holding me back versus the 2/1 was not going to be. But hey, I can draw 2 cards next turn. So now they play a very big thing. Now they have a big old dude. So I can draw 2 cards and play my my shrine, but I'd rather have the +1/+1 counter because I have the Ember Keeper, because I want it to get bigger than their creature. I need to give it +1/+1 every turn. So I forego drawing a card to make my shrine bigger. They still think they're the offensive deck, which is offensive to me. So I'm going to draw my 2 cards. And I draw my ogre, so your little blocker is not blocking, and I get to smack for a lot. So I don't get to get my +1/+1 counter, but I dealt a lot of damage. I'm winning this race in a large way. I have a removal spell. They miss a land drop. I like their deck. I like the speed, but you know, doesn't beat not keeping your main source of red mana and then lucking out. So, I'm wondering if I need to play around anything. I decide, like, you know what? Not really. I just need 2 extra mana, 1 for my Trine, 1 for this 1/1. I'm going to attack with everything. I don't care if they trade with my 4/1. I just want to get as much damage as possible because I have a growing Trampler. And now it's like, okay, even if you kill my things, I'm going to get 2 1/1s. Yeah, you're dead. So I got lucky, and they did not. They were mana screwed, and it was a very risky keep. But once again, I'm an aggressive. I don't like mulliganing with decks like this because you need to be playing 2 spells a turn in the first few turns, and you can't if your hand's slow. So this is a hand with the double land that doesn't get punished for it. I get to go Stalker, then I get to go Ogre, stop your blocker, and get a 3/2 or a 5/2. So this is pretty much like an ideal hand. They're playing red, so I'm like, uh-oh, and they have a first drop, so like maybe my Stalker plan won't go off, but maybe they think they're the aggressive deck. Maybe they think they're aggressive deck and they can leave 1 blocker back, and then, you know, I won't. So it's like, I don't like that attack. I don't like that attack. They think they're the aggressive deck because they think they're going to turn this 1/1 into a 3/1, etc., etc. So I'm going to make it where you can't block. I'm going to attack. I don't mind if they turn the 1/1 into a 3/1, which is why I pump the 3/2 because I might be trading with this Ogre. If they're spending their mana upgrading it, it's going to trade with my Ogre either way. Go for it. And I don't want to upgrade my Ogre because, yeah, so here I just trade with their 2/2. It's once again, it can upgrade things. My Ogre is going to be trading with it even if it has a +1/+1 counter. So I get a card and I get their turn for it. I'll take it. And meanwhile, guess what? I'm getting an increasing amount of +1/+1 counters. So here you go. More free power and toughness. Thank you, opponent. I'm the aggressive deck. You're not the aggressive deck. Look at me. I'm the aggressive deck. So I have 2 combat tricks in my hand. These would be 2 dead cards if the boar was not the boar. I would probably lose this game, I think. Because they'd be able to turn their 1/1 into a 3/1. They'd be able to stall me out. Well, then I'd be playing 2/6 drops hopefully later. We'll see. So I was waiting. I think they do. They might want to attach it to the 2/2 and double trade that way. But now I have a question for myself of, do I leave double boar up or do I play the trainee because they can get a Stalker token on it? So they only spent 1 mana on their turn. I spent 2. I'm okay with the status quo. I don't necessarily want them to trade right now. I don't know why they're leaving mana up. They're an aggressive deck and they left 3 mana up. So I'm thinking, you know what? No. Let's see you use your trick and or wait. Yeah. So they do have a trick. It wouldn't have mattered. I would have been able to bore and get some damage through. So I maybe should have attacked anyways. But I am still the aggressive deck. They have less life. I have 2 combat tricks. So here, there's so many permutations of how attacking could go, but I have 3 different combat tricks which can change the math in all sorts of ways. They don't know about any of them. If I trample over with my Stalker, I can get a +1/+1 counter after the fact. Right now, I can deal lethal if they don't block at all. So I'm just chilling. See, right now, I could put my boar on my 3/3. It would survive. I would deal extra damage. Now I wouldn't. And now I'm once again. It depends on what they do. Okay, now they block my 3/2 with the 2/2. They're trying to get max value. Now my board's going to completely blow them out. I'm going to get to deal 4 damage to them, get a +1/+1 counter. So this is what they do. They're trying to keep their stuff. I get to keep both of my creatures, get a +1/+1 counter, and trample over. This is an absolute. This is like game is over now. Like bye bye. Yeah. And things would have been less than ideal if I had attacked that turn they left mana up. And because they were spending potential 1 mana, I was spending 2 mana on that turn. I was okay with that tempo change because we're both aggressive decks. I wasn't expecting them to play like a 5-drop. So there's a fine hand. I'm constrained on green, so I play the Stalker first because what I can do is I can play the Shrine, put a +1/+1 counter from the Stalker, then plus it at the end of turn. Now I can't. They have a little poopy blocker. So I want to kill it so I can get a +1/+1 counter. So I'm going to kill it. Yep. I'll play my Apprentice. I can't put a +1/+1 counter, but I will play a +1/+1 on the Stalker. And now I have an interesting choice in that I have a land that I really would prefer to be creatures than a land. So I have to decide whether I play 2 spells next turn or I just chill. So they're gonna shake me down. Yep. I'm gonna play the Boar. I can only play 1 spell anyways this turn. Might as well play the Boar, put a counter on it, leave the land in case it needs to be a spell. If I draw another land, I can play it. If I draw a spell and I need the 4 mana, I can always play it later. Keep it in your hand in this situation. Also, they could have a discard spell, and I could want my 2/1 more. So they play a 3/4. This also gives a +1/+1 counter when it leaves play. So if I wait around to find out, so to speak, they're going to be able to get an extra power and toughness of value out of throwing a +1/+1 counter on a different creature when it dies. So if I'm going to trade with this, ideally I want to trade now. So I do draw another land. I'll play that. Now, if anything of mine dies, I get a +1/+. I get a 1/1. I don't want to give them a free thing. I could just go all out, and but they would probably trade with my 3/2. So I just trade. I get my 1/1, and then here we are. Right now, I feel like I'm in a good position. They are playing, a lot of colors. They seem to be playing higher casting cost things. I think I pretty much have it. At this point, I'm pretty confident that I won this game. I'm like, okay, I'm going to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and with 2 1/1s. I'm going to attack for 9, and then they play a 4/3, a 4/3, 4/3 mana. And I'm like, okay, bye-bye. And surprise, surprise, they have a thing. So I wanted to get rid of it before I attacked so they couldn't get a free block out of it. Now that it has 2 damage on it, I'm like, okay, let me attack. If they block my 1/1 Spirit, I get 5 damage in. I get another 1/1 from when it dies, and I get to keep the +1/+1 counter. So if they trade with my 1/1, I'm technically up in power and toughness. I get to deal 5 damage, and I get to I get all this value. The question is, should I have attacked with my 1/1? Technically, they could have blocked that instead of my 1/1, my +1/+1. I think all roads lead to Rome. In that case, I would have dealt 1 more damage. Now, this is like the worst thing I could see, is that it's a good blocker. It gives them a card. It gives them life. I'm like, oh. I got to decide what I want to do. Now, I can go super wide. I'm thinking they're going to block my 3/2. They're going to block my 2/2 with their 2/3, and then they take 6 damage, one of these 2 1/1s with haste. 1 for my 3/2. But once again, even if my 3/2 dies, my Stalker, my Aki Ember Keeper will give me another 1/1 token. So right now I'm just planning on going wide, getting them down to if I get them down to 4 life and I draw a Boar, any of my 1/1s are then lethal. and then it doesn't matter if they completely own the board. If they have like 5/5/6/6s and 7/7s against my 1/1s, as long as I have just one more 1/1, then they have big creatures. So right now, all I need to do is draw a boar, and I have one. Assuming they don't clear my board, but yeah, even if they suddenly made 4 creatures on the board, I still win with a boar, which I have 3 of in my deck. On top of things like my thing that deals 3 damage and deals 3 damage to a creature and 2 damage to them. On top of other things that I could draw. Right now, they need to play 2 creatures just to live. So they play 1. And that's scary because if they have removal, I could put them low but not there. But yeah. It's too wide. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Here we go. I'm cruising. I'm bruising. The plan is working perfectly. So how do you stop this? Is if you're on the other side. You have early drops. You have the Iron Apprentice. You have the 0/4s. You have early removal, like the -2/-2 black card, or like the shock, the red shock. So here, I have my spell land. I don't want it to be a land, but it might have to. It's my only red source right now. Until, and I have a choice. Do I do decide to ninjutsu because it deals an extra damage now. It puts the +1/+1 counter on it now. I'm planning on ogring and then attacking through. So they play a 1/3, and I'm like, I forget that this has Death Touch. I should kill the 1/3, probably. There's no way for me to really attack through. So I'm thinking like, okay, let me kill the 2/2, and then I can like attack and they can't block. But I'm like, oh, Death Touch, shoot. They can block, in fact, my 3/2. So that was probably a mistake. Because now all my artifacts are going to be... Oh, I go for the trade? I wait. And the reason I wait is because I have things that give trample, like both boars in my hand. And if I give trample, I can get a +1/+1 counter from that trade. So I'd rather do that. So now they kill my Death Touch. I don't know if that's correct. They're wanting to attack 3. So I just say, hey, I'm going to make this unable to block. I'm going to get my +1/+1 counter. I don't mind leaving my ogre vulnerable, because if they kill my ogre, then they can't kill my ogre with the wrecker. It is the blocker. So now I have this choice of like, do I make my man lands or do I not? And I think I am going to make it, because what I want to do is play the boar, attack, and then use my other boar to plus. That's the plan, at least. And then like I trade, but I get a +1/+1 counter out of it. Not the best. Once again, if I left the other 2/2 up, I think it still would have traded, because it would have been a 3/3 with the thing. So I have to discard my other card, and I am really hurting right now. Like in my mind right now, I will not win this game. I like they have three cards in their hand. I'm trying to kill them with one spell. So they Reckoner's Bargain, which really doesn't do anything because I trample. So they could have done that without blocking. Ninja, it stops ninjas if I had ninjas, but I have no cards in hand. So they bring back their Death Toucher. It's dangerous, but I get to keep attacking. Ideally, I want to equip this so that I can trade the damage and keep trading the damage with each little thing that I play. But I don't have enough mana to play my ogre and equip my boar. So I would trade, because if they attack and okay, so I don't know why, but they let me do this. I don't know if I should have waited or not. Oh yeah, they die because it comes back into play tapped. So in this case, it is good that I didn't wait. The 4/1 ogre kills them very fast because they come into play tapped. So like, it shows the power of removal. It shows the power of surprising the opponent with not being able to block. A 4/1 seems bad because even little 1/1 tokens can trade with it, but when there aren't things to block it, it kills them very fast. So that's the other side of a 4-1. But yeah, like if that was a 1-3, like the Ronin, I wouldn't have been able to kill them that fast. They would have been able to stabilize. That's why these are aggressive cards versus the other. So this, I get my tap land. It does hurt me in that I can't play my enchantment, but that's okay. I get to play my Stalker. This isn't the third turn kill, is it? Fifth turn kill, is it? No, because this might be the fifth turn kill. Count with me, 2 turns. Yeah. So I'm playing it this way so that I can play my Ogre when they actually have a creature that I can block, and it gets me my 2/2 faster. So that was turn 3. They play a 3/3, which is a strong defense. This is turn 4 for me. And look at this. Like, you know, they are playing things. They're not playing things. So they have 2 3/3s. 2 3/3s against an aggressive deck. This is my turn 5, and I'm up against this. And because I have the 2 boars, it's game over. No matter how they block, they die. Because I can throw trample up, and they're tapped out, so I know they don't have any tricks. So it's absolutely amazing that with this much resistance, 2 3/3s, and one of them was on turn 2. Like, you're dead. And I get a residual +1/+1 counter in case they had something. Turn 5 kill. Ooh, in draft. The boar is so strong. The boars and the ogres are so strong. Now, it wouldn't necessarily work in best of 3 because then the opponent can gear their deck to have gain life spells, have smaller little dorks, and those are things that you would also draft if you were a slower control deck, which changes the draft itself, going best of 1 versus best of 3. And I think best of 3 is better because you do need to think of those things when you're drafting, so it puts more constraint instead of just like, hey, let's balls to the wall. So the Death Touch is troublesome because, you know, Trample doesn't necessarily let me trade. So it's one of the best early blocks against me, but I have an Ogre. I have removal in my hand. I'm not too worried at this point. And then they Tamiyo. They Tamiyo on turn 4 and shut me down. Also, they're playing first, which me. So I'm like, do I side? I think I do have to kill this Tamiyo because it can lock down. It can lock me down. I don't want to. But I do need to. So I kill their 1/1 because it's going to impede my journey. I can't kill their Tamiyo even if I pump my 2/1. So I kill their Tamiyo. What I'm actually most afraid of is I'm most afraid of them copying their 1/1 with Tamiyo, them -1ing it and getting a 1/1. Ironically, they don't do that. I mean, they spoiler alert, they still win this game. They keep my 2/2 tapped down, and I'm like, what is happening here? I don't play the Ogre. I don't know. They don't have anything that I would need to stop. So I wait. They completion it, and now I can kill the Tamiyo. So great, and kill the Tamiyo. Yes, it cost me a boar, but you know, it was some tempo and a card for a card at the end of the day. I'm glad that they didn't get their. If they got their 1/1 Death Touch, it would have been a little bit. So now they play a card that gives them 2 4/5s. That, like, this is impossible value. I just had to waste a bunch of damage on that Tamiyo, and now I have to slog through 4/5s. So this is the problem. Like, I'm not going to be able to get through these 4/5s, and in the meantime, they are getting value. They're getting bigger spells than me. They're going over the top of me. They're getting removal. Their 4/5s have vigilance. So I'm just like sitting here, trading like 2 for 1ing myself so that I don't die, because now they are the aggressive deck. They've gone over my head. To be fair, it took a lot of rares and them being on the play, but you know, this is what you get when you do best of 1. So I'm debating, like, do I use the boar? Do I wait to play the boar so I can trade directly for their 4/5? I want to just trade 1 for 1 because I need as much card advantage as possible. This is weird because they could pay more to draw. Oh, they do. This is the next turn. They do the weird play. So now they're playing a card that gains them life. Another nightmare on me. It gains life and impedes my journey. So because I have this boar, I just use my other boar. I don't know if I'm drawing a land. I have something to do next turn. I need to get damage in. So here we go. And this is the weird play. They could just draw a card by spending 3 mana. They obviously have dead cards in their hand, so instead, they pay 1 mana, they save themselves 2 mana, and they discard a card. It makes sense if they're trying to play like 6 drops, but, you know, yeah. They also could have waited. So, once again, they're going to be drawing way too many cards. They have blocks. They can draw cards. They're at an ample life. I'm drawing lands. Once again, compared to how many cards I have on my library, I'm not flooding by any means. But if there was a way to turn this around, it would require me to not be drawing lands right now. Yeah. In the meantime, like. Now they can still trade for my creature. Now their thing is bigger than my creature. It's bigger than that. I can kill with that. So I just go to attack and try to, like, maybe I can sneak in the damage somehow. Maybe I can iron bore them or something last second. Or it's easier for me to chump, or I can play something and reconfigure my boar after attacking and then block. But now they have removal. I would, if it was still a 3/3, I would have the flare as an out there, and I could have 2-for-1 them and started getting card advantage back. So it's just like, it just wasn't in the cards for me to win this game. Now they have an amazing blocker. Not only do they have an amazing blocker, but now they can scry and draw and discard 1. If I were them, I wouldn't necessarily do it on my turn, because now they get another thing to play, but they wouldn't have been able to block with the 1/4, and I've shown that I have hasty things. So I don't know. I need things with power and toughness. I don't need defensive cards. They can just sit there and draw more cards, scry more. It is interesting that it kind of came down to even fringe benefits of theirs, like this they're just drawing and discarding nothing, but that +1/+1 counter on their 3/3 changed so much with their rebuke. Even after I fought through a planeswalker and 2 4/5s, so I think that does show the resiliency. Once again, this wasn't in the cards. It is hard to go complete 7-0 sweep in best of 1. You have to have a good deck and a lot of luck. So here we go. I'm like, okay, well let's get rid of your 4/4. I'm worried, like, do they have a counterspell? Do they have +2/+2s? I don't know. So I just hedged for dealing the most damage. Now I'm really not going to make it through their defenses. My only hope is that I can, like, so then they steal my 1/1, and now there's really no way that I win. There's no way that I win because they can attack for 4. I have to block, and there's no one singular card in my deck that'll stop 2 of their creatures. Not even my boar, which is my highest top end. So 1 game away from absolutely 7-0ing it. Ugh, no. But I've had turn 5 and 6 kills. I can't really complain that hard. So not the best hand in that I don't have a creature until turn 3, but I'm once again, I don't want to mulligan anything. So I get lucky. I do draw a 2-drop. To be fair, I have more 2-drops than anything else in my deck. What I love about this is I can block the 2/1 without worrying, and they are obviously or probably the ninja deck, so I do want to block. So they have the 2/2 that lets them draw cards, and I don't fudge. I'd see if I can get them on some sort of double block. I'm not going to fudge around with that. So it's like if I play my 3/2 and they have removal and then they draw cards, that's how the game spirals out of control. So like I'm not messing around with that. I was worried about a ninja there. Instead, they just play their ninja, they bounce it. Okay, get it. I'm gonna play my 2/2, my 2s. The problem with this is if they equip their 2/1 to their 2/2, and then it just trades my 2/2 for their 2/2, but I'll take that trade. I get a tempo trade if that is the case. So it is what they do. They don't know that I have the ogre. Unfortunate that my next red source is the spell that I don't want to, is, you know, a land that I ideally don't want to be a land. But for this turn, I just ogre, ward it off, and now I'm not too worried. Like, either they kill my ogre and attack, and then they probably don't have mana to do killer, like, amazing ninja things. So I'm not too worried about this. They still think they're the aggressive deck. I would say that they are wrong. But I don't know. They could have ninja. So at this point, they've spent the mana to modify this thing. They or equip it. They have it an aura attached to it. Like, I don't think they ninja it, and so, you know, here I am like, okay, I think I win this game. I don't know that I should play. Yeah. I shouldn't play that first. If I had one more mana, I would try to equip. So they complete that. I attack them down. Play my boar. I'm a little worried that they might be able to deal 3 incidentally somehow, but I'm not gonna block and trade 2 for 1. So they do this. I could kill it in response, but what I'm hoping is they attack and leave themselves open. They attack with this 5/4 because I can jump block it easily. Now there's an argument for leaving my flare up in case I get something with a +1/+1 counter, but I don't have a lot of things that give me +1/+1 counters. I need to attack first, or it's gonna take a turn. I am punished though; they would already be dead. So I think about this, and I think I can kill them as long as I live another turn. I can go wide for 2, so I leave 2 blockers up in case they have a removal spell. And it just turns out that, oh hey, they do have a removal spell. Hey, look at that. William's decently smart at this game. They unequip. Now they live if they, nope, you don't want to attack. You do not want to attack, sir. Or madam, or non-binary, or anything on this, however you identify. Yeah, and then boar closes it down in whichever way, +3/+1, or as a 5/4 trampler, and that's the speedy deck. That's how you get the fast kills. Boar is amazing. 2-drops are great. Those +1/+1 counters were key, but most importantly, the removal. +1/+1 counters key. Removal was key. The 1/1 sort of came. The boars, yeah, those were probably the most, and the unstoppable ogre. Everything else is kind of interchangeable. And then the lands that had value were good. And that's it. Thank you so much. If you like this, feel free to watch more. I have traditional drafts for this as well. Feel free to check those out. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to be doing that Iron Apprentice draft where we get as many as possible. So watch for it.